What is up, my good friends? It is your old pal Closet Gamer back again for something a little bit different. So today, we're not really going to be focusing on progression in Age of Engineering. I'm going to be doing something slightly different. We'll be focusing mainly on aesthetics and aesthetics of our temple here. So a couple of people have asked me in comments about how to do some of the chiseled stuff that I've done around here with these Futura blocks showing through these cracked stone bricks. So we're going to cover that, and you'll also notice in the top left hand corner of my screen I've got like a little recording symbol kind of hiding behind my jetpack thing there. That's because I've installed a mod called the replay mod that allows you to do like third person time lapses and flyovers and things like that. So what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to focus on the weathering of this structure, so you can see around this side and less so this side. It's looking a little bit weathered if we sort of just focus on this area here. It's looking weathered, there's some missing blocks and stuff. I'm going to focus on showing you how I did that, and probably get this section finished off, and probably some of these sections. So these sections look a little bit plain and boring. If we whiz over this side and look at this side here, so this is the bit that's always hidden from cam, isn't it? This is the area that just looks dead plain and boring. So we'll probably focus on doing that as well. I'll time lapse all of that and this area around here as well. Okay, so the first thing that I want to focus on really is some chiseled stuff. So this is one of the chisel blocks from inside my temple. And the theme that I wanted to go for was that there's more to this temple than immediately meets the eye. So, you know, on the surface it's just like a wrecked temple, but every now and again you see these kind of little glances of alien technology showing through. And this effect is really easy to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it right now. But first, let me just explain a little bit about chisel. So the chisel mod itself brings with it a multitude of different decorative blocks. They're kind of broken up into families, but they don't necessarily all go well together. You need a little bit of contrast. So it's probably best if you get a creative world and just go crazy figuring out which blocks look nice next to each other. You know, build yourself maybe a little showroom, like a little corner of what you think your base could look like, and then sort of just try these different combinations. That's the only really advice I can give you on these. But what I want to focus on specifically is the chisels and bits part of chisel, which is, I think it's like an extra little add-on that you can get. It's part of Age of Engineering anyway, and what it allows you to do is to interact with individual bits of the block. Alright, so if you hold down Alt, it brings up this little radial menu that you've got here. If you pick individual bit, what you can do is you can interact with these individual little bits like this. Okay, so this is a 16 by 16 grid on here, and 16 by 16 on here, which makes 4096 blocks or bits within this block, and you can interact with every single one of them. You can move them around and change them and do whatever the hell you want. So in order to make this, it's very simple. What I've got in my inventory here is a bit bag. Okay, so if we open this guy up, you can see that I've got hundreds and hundreds of bits in here. So when you chisel, it will store those in here, and it will prevent your inventory from getting all clogged up with a load of old crap. So I've got some chiseled granite. It says granite because I've basically reskinned granite with these blocks using the Conquest texture. If you want to do the same, the only reason that I've really done this is because I've used stone bricks over there and I didn't want that to get all messed up and looking weird, so I've just reskinned granite because I don't really use it for anything other than it being underground and being mined and stuff. So the first thing to do really is to get yourself tons and tons of bits. So all I really do with this is to get my chisel. Actually, we don't really want that one, we will probably want the cracked one. The cracked one kind of looks better with the exposed alien tech, so let's get some of this one. Let's shift to plane mode here, and then what we can do is we can just demolish this block bit by bit, and that will put a ton of bits in our inventory, in our chisel bit bag here. So then what we can do is we can come over to this guy here, and we can say, in order to make this, what I want to do is I want to chop off one block, or one block width plane from each side, like this. So that gives you a block that is one chisel bit smaller, and then what you can do is you can facade it using these guys, like this, like that, and like that, and like that. So the chisel bit that you've got in your hand, you can also change the mode on this as well. So if you wanted to place a small cube down in the world, you could go like that, and that will give you a little version of the block. Okay, so in order to get this sort of kind of cracked effect, all I did was I switched to a different mode, and the mode is drawn region, like this. Okay, so what you can do for this effect, all I really do is I hold down shift and just sort of chop bits out of this and just try and make it look like it's natural, okay? And you kind of want to do this on corners and things because that's where people would have dropped stuff and bumped into them and things like that. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of chop a few little bits out of here and try and make it look a little bit more natural, like that. Okay, how does that look? This probably looks a bit sort of unnatural here, so let's get rid of some of these as well. Okay, so now you've got a design that you want might want to copy it somewhere else. Now, as long as you've got bits in your bit bag, you can right click this and it will copy it to a design. It will copy it without the bits in your bit bag, but you won't be able to replicate it. It will give you a written design, and then you can go and you can put this somewhere else, and you can use it to replace a block. So if we maybe we want to put one over this way somewhere. Maybe we want to put one like here, like that. You see? It will chisel away those blocks and it will replace some bits and pieces for you. But ultimately it copies the design, and there's another way that you can do it. And that is by getting the plan and putting it in your bag like that, and then that will allow you to take a block and you can place that in the world as well. So that is really good. It's a really nice way to be able to just copy your designs. I don't recommend that you just copy and paste the same design all over the place, so if you're doing stuff like this. Otherwise it will look a bit repetitive and won't look particularly natural. Now there was another thing that I wanted to do actually, and that is more to do with larger areas of chiseling, because these are okay for individual blocks, but if you want to do something a bit larger, you need to take a slightly different approach to it. So if we get rid of these, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace all of these with Futura blocks. Then I'm going to hold down Alt and Shift to the plane mode, and I'm going to slice off each one of these like that. So that's got a 1 bit wide gap now between there and there. And I'm going to get rid of the ones off the bottom here, and I'm also going to get rid of the ones at the back here because you'll be able to see those like that. Now if I grab some of these, then I'm going to fix those. Actually, I need to shift to plane for these. So like that. And like that. So that's disguised from that perspective. Now what I can do is I can facade those like that. And then if I switch back to my chisel and go to drawn region, what I want to do is like a kind of a big kind of cracked bit here. So it looks like there's like a conduit of this stuff running through, and I'm just going to sort of open it up across multiple blocks like this and just have it kind of looking like it's just kind of cracked away around here. And then what I need to do is kind of soften the edges up a bit and kind of crack the edges just like this. So just really blending it in bit by bit now, just to kind of make it look a bit more natural in terms of how it's come about, because cracks don't happen in straight lines, they kind of happen higgledy-piggledy, don't they? So how does that look? Does that look okay? I think that looks okay, apart from maybe this bit. This bit looks a bit kind of strange, a bit too straight. There we go, and then maybe a little bit more off this side here. And then you can also put maybe a couple of gashes across here as well, just to add a little bit more definition to it. How does that look? So that looks okay. I think it looks alright. Lovely jubbly, excellent. Okay, so that's a bit different to what we've just done, because if we was to put like 3 of these blocks here, then these middle ones here would be made of bricks instead of Futura blocks. So you have to take a slightly different approach with those. That's exactly the same what I did over here. So you can see the same happened over here. I did that over there as well, and pretty much the same with these guys as well. Unfortunately, the architecture craft blocks don't chisel, so that's a bit of a limitation with it. But it works quite well everywhere else. These guys here have just got these little golden kind of hats on. They're made out of chisel blocks as well. You could probably add like a little bit of detailing on there if you wanted to as well, if you wanted to make those. I'm not really finished with these yet though. I've still got some more stuff that I want to do with them. But these are just, exactly the same method. I've just kind of chiseled out, kind of tried to make it look like they've got little eyes looking at you, so that's pretty good. So overall, you know, not too bad. It's a bit of detail. It's a bit of attention to detail. It takes a little bit of time, but I think overall the effect is quite worth it, I think. Okay, so putting those chisels and bits aside for a few minutes, let's talk about a little bit of weathering, because it's quite important. If you're trying to make a structure that you don't want to look like pristine and look old, you want to be able to destroy it enough to the point where you can still tell what it is, but so that it doesn't look like it's just been carved out of a solid piece of one material. So things like this, things like where you've got like these sort of indentations where it looks like the stairs have started crumbling away, things like that, and things like little blocks missing and stuff like that. They're all very important. They all add to the effect. Things like moss growing and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this side over here, because this side is looking pretty pristine, pretty fresh, has nothing really that wrong with it. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to show you a few bits, but then I'm going to zoom out and we'll time lapse it so you can see the overall effect sort of taking shape. So one of the things that you can do is just have stairs, you know, sort of facing sideways. Stairs are, you know, one of them probably the most versatile blocks in Minecraft. Really, you can put them anywhere, and look, already you can see that looks fantastic. Like there's just looks like it's got like a block missing or something. Then what you can do as well with the chisel bit saw is you can make some slabs as well. Let's put it like that. Let's make some slabs like this. And which one of these is slabs? Is this slabs? Yeah, this is a slab here. If I can get up here, get up. Down, thank you. Right, slab there, and then what we'll do is we'll put that there like that, and then we'll get a mossy staircase, and we'll put a mossy staircase. We've got one, yes, mossy staircase there. So it almost looks like it's sort of drizzling down the side. Nice, and then maybe we can put another block, another mossy block there as well, like that. See, it looks really good. And what you can do as well is you probably want to destroy the corners a little bit. Around here, so maybe you can just get rid of that one, completely, and just put a cracked one there like that, and it kind of starts adding to the effect of it looking like it's a bit busted up and a bit broken. So you can place the stairs like sideways as well, like that, and it just looks like there's one block missing. You can do lots and lots of stuff with these stairs. I mean, most of this is like stairs and different coloured bricks, and you really want to try and avoid like too much repetition within the design, because otherwise it won't look natural. It'll look like someone's placed them there. And the same for these, really. You don't really want a continuous pattern of cracked slabs. You kind of want to break them up a little bit. So instead of having like 4 in a row, you might want to do like 3 and then a couple of slabs coming around here like this. And if we turn some of these into some slabs like that, let's grab 2 of those and put those. Let's grab that before that disappears. I want to put like 2 along the bottom there, like that. Then it kind of just makes it look a bit more natural, you know, a bit less kind of fake. So what I'll start to do this side, and I will zoom out, and we'll do a little time lapse, and it will be great. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done in terms of weathering on this portion of the temple anyway. There's still a bit to do over the other side, but I can do that off cam. You kind of get the general idea of what I'm doing anyway. All I'm doing really is stairs upside down, stairs on the side, stairs up the right way, mossy stairs, mossy bricks, cracked bricks, kind of dotted all over the place. You get the gist of it. It's not too bad, it's not too difficult. You just got to kind of try and be as random as you can without it looking ridiculous. So one last thing that I wanted to show you actually before we wrap up the episode. Let me just grab a torch or something just to put some light on this. Let's grab a couple of torch shares so that we're not working in the dark. I wanted to show you how to blend in pathways a little bit because what's going on with those shaders there? Look at that, it looks weird. Shade, there we go, that's better. So these paths, the idea of these paths is they're kind of supposed to look a little bit I don't know, a little bit kind of blended it in, but they're not. They're kind of just looking there, sitting there looking square. So what I'm going to do is knock one down off here, and I've got some grass that I've just chiseled quite recently. I'm going to switch to plane mode on here. So what we can start to do is to just sort of chisel away some of this just to try and blend it in a little bit. And I'll probably do that for the whole of this path actually, just to make sure it doesn't look so fake, because it kind of just looks like it's just kind of sitting there on top. I mean, these ones, this is not too bad over here, but probably around the edges of this I want to try and blend it in a little bit. So now if I get some of these and put that like that, that'll bring it up to the same level. So now it doesn't look too bad, doesn't look as fake as what it did. And I can put some more of those like there. And then maybe I can just kind of cut in around here a little bit into these grass blocks like that, and then load some more cracked bricks on there. So already it's kind of blending it in a little bit, I suppose. It's not too bad now around there. And then what we can do is probably blend it in a little bit on this corner here, and just gently kind of chop into this a little bit like that. Then bring it up a little bit. Kind of looks a little bit better, doesn't it? And then maybe we can blend this corner in as well, because that doesn't just sit in squares like this. It kind of sort of gets stuck in corners and things. So let's go across there like that. It's really hard to see on these, but you can just about kind of make it out. Maybe we can go like this. And if I can see it, we can add some of that like that. Then a bit on there. A bit on that one. That kind of just softens up that edge a little bit, and then maybe we just need to, as one last thing, we can just get rid of this. We can just tidy up this corner here as well. So a bit like that, and then a bit like that, and then knock off that edge, and those two as well. How's that look? Does that look a bit better? That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? It looks like it's kind of blended into the grass a little bit more. So you get the idea, and I'll probably do some more on this. I'm not going to spend too much time on it though, because I really need to crack on with age engineering. Otherwise, I'm going to be here until 2020 doing this. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and if you have, then please leave a like and a comment as well. And hopefully, what the fuck's going on here? Look at this. What's going on with this texture? So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Anyway, it's a little bit different, isn't it? It's a little bit new. And hopefully you've learned something. If you have, then leave a like and a comment and let me know. And also, if you want to know anything else about the temple, dimensions and stuff, then leave a comment about that as well. And I will be sure to answer whatever questions I can. If you want to know dimensions anyway, it's 71 by 71. The bases anyway. I'm not sure how far the stairs come out, but I'm sure we can. I'm sure I can count them if you really want me to. So anyway, I'm Closet Gamer, and if you've enjoyed this episode, then leave a like and a comment, and I will see you guys next time.